Well, we're here with a number of partner and collaborators holding side events, and we have exhibitions. We're scientists, and we're really trying to bring the evidence of climate change in the ocean to the delegates here.
Okay, and what are your expectations for this COP21?
Well, we would love the ocean, which is enormously important for the planet. It governs the weather of the planet, the climate of the planet. It distributes heat around the planet, and believe it or not, it's absorbing over 90% of the heat from global warming. So the atmosphere would be much hotter if it wasn't for the ocean absorbing that. But that is causing the warming of the ocean, and this isn't good for a lot of marine organisms. So it's having an impact on them, and it will continue to do so as greenhouse gases arise. So add to that the fact that the ocean is receiving all the water from melting sea ice, so that with the expansion of the ocean due to warming is creating sea level rise. And add to that the fact that when you warm a liquid you lose oxygen, so the oceans are losing oxygen. And not to be boring about this, but add to that the oceans are also taking up the CO2 from the atmosphere. So already it's taken up 30%, nearly 30% of the CO2 from the atmosphere, and therefore reducing atmospheric warming. But when you add CO2 to a liquid, like when you have drinking water with CO2 in, it's more acidic.
Okay.
And the same thing happens in the ocean, and that's causing ocean acidification. So what we want is for this enormously important role of the ocean to be recognized by the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change here, because without the ocean we would be in a sorry state. And of course humans depend on the ocean not just for their weather and their atmosphere, but also for food, for coastal protection, and tourism and so on. So, and all these different stresses are happening at the same time across the whole ocean, and that is impacting marine ecosystems. And as greenhouse gases rise, the risk will become higher and higher. And since tourism, since food and coastal security, especially for developing and coastal states, depends on a healthy ecosystems, then they're they're higher and higher risks. So what we want is for the world to do a wonderful U-turn and keep well below the supposed 2-degree target, call it a limit, and so we should really reduce our CO2 and other greenhouse gas emissions sufficiently that we get very strict reductions in our carbon dioxide.
So would you say that the role of oceans is not taken seriously by the states, and COP21 is a negotiation between governments of states, and oceans are mainly international areas, so how can we negotiate about something that doesn't belong to any country?
Well, it's true. The ocean is the great majority of the ocean is our common heritage. And so no one country is looking after it. So it's up to all of us to look after the ocean, because at the moment it doesn't have a voice, you're quite right, in these negotiations. It's not mentioned in the negotiation text, whereas things like forests are. And the ocean carries out half of the primary production on the planet. The rest is carried out on land. And so we really need to address that and recognize that the blue part of this planet is what makes this planet so very special, and enables life on land and in the sea. And so we all must look after it. It's part of what every country should do.
So this is your real goal, to make the ocean issues enter the negotiation?
Absolutely. And the negotiations after COP21. This is a start, and we have to open the door for the ocean to be part of this procedure.
Okay, thank you very much.